Hello and welcome to tonight's SBC News. Alain Setange and Alexander Pierre have agreed to settle their dispute regarding a defamation case that Mr. Setange had filed in court against Mr. Pierre. The case was meant to be heard in court today, but Mr. Pierre and Mr. Setange had already agreed to end the case. Mr. Pierre has issued an apology to Mr. Setange and accepted that he made a false statement when he said in October 2019 on social media that Mr. Setange used funds from his political party to bring his family to Australia for a wedding.
Today, Mr. Setange, my client, and Mr. Pierre have agreed to complete the case by way of a judgment by consent. Mr. Pierre has agreed that what he did constitute defamation of Mr. Setange. He has also agreed that what he did was wrong and they were not true. Whatever he posted on social media during the presidential election on the 19th October 2019 were actually a pack of lies. And I understand it was designed to target Mr. Setange as he was seen as a threat in the presidential election. And today, both parties have agreed to end the case with a judgment by consent and also a written apology that Mr. Alexander Pierre has tendered to the court as part of the settlement. In principle, the settlement is that Mr. Pierre would pay the legal fees of Mr. Setange. He would also pay the court fees of Mr. Setange, and he would also tender an apology and a retraction of the allegations that he posted on Facebook on the 19th October 2019 vis-à-vis Mr. Setange. He has also promised to remove all those postings and not to repeat any of those allegations in future on Facebook and social media in general.
The government is intensifying its efforts to have a digital economy where technology is used in everything. To support this vision, the central bank is accelerating its work through modernizing the national payment system and implementing fintech concept where technology is integrated in financial services. The central bank has started to implement these two strategies since last year, and there are still a few discussions left to fully implement them, including a study on the affordability of internet in the country. The financial inclusion analyst Brigitte Lucas says that these strategies will benefit the country.
First of all, we'll see more transparency. So moving electronic would allow more transparency in terms of the transactions, reduction of risk with regards to AML-related risks, and also corruptions. And also it will assist the government in tax collections, because we see that cash involves a lot of where people are not paying their taxes. So having these payments done electronically would allow the government to collect taxes better. It will also contribute towards financial inclusion, including all key sectors of the economy, all the segments of the population within the financial system. It will promote competition, more competition. Currently, we have only the banks, so it will promote more competition in the financial system. And emerging technologies, we will start seeing new technologies which are more convenient for people. So yeah, these are some of the benefits.
Eric Albert is the best overall performer out of 55 students who have graduated from the Seychelles Institute for Art and Design for the 2020 cohort. The ceremony was done virtually this morning at UNICE. The students had followed courses in several art and design disciplines on 3 main levels: certificates, advanced certificates, and diploma level. SIAD's director, Christine Payet, said that the institute had recorded a 100% pass rate for last year's cohort, who sat for the General Certificate of Education GCE A-level exams.
Graduates who sat for the GCE A-level art examinations in 2020 performed exceptionally well, and we recorded a 100 pass rate. It is to be noted that the exam is new and brought with it many challenges due to the different components of coursework which have changed. Furthermore, with the COVID-19 pandemic, graduates had a period of only 6 months maximum to prepare and work on the different coursework. The exam itself is normally taught within a period of 1.5 years in normal circumstances.
Officials from the Ministry of Education yesterday presented the Tertiary Education Indicator Report for 2020. The report provides an assessment of the state of tertiary institutions for last year. The report has also been presented to the Cabinet of Ministers this week during their meeting recently. The Cabinet emphasized the need to review the education system to ensure that learners access quality education and benefit from sound careers guidance to participate fully in the development of the country. The CEO of the Tertiary Education Commission, Jean-Michel Domingue, said since 2014, the Tertiary Education Commission has published an indicator report every year. For the last 3 years, they have been sharing the report with the Cabinet of Ministers in a bid to sensitize decision makers and show them the trends in the tertiary education sector.
The indicator report for the tertiary sector shows, in a nutshell, the state of health of the sector, what is good, what is not so good, and what needs to be done. This is the only way we can do policy development. If I just summarize some of the main findings for this year, which is not so different from previous years, by the way, we find that access to tertiary education from S5 to professional centers and the university has remained within the 60 to 70%. Slightly less last year, less students entered, but still within that band. So it's fairly consistent. In our institutions, we are happy to say, are making progress when it comes to the quality of training that's on offer. More of our institutions are getting their programs validated, and this is credit to their work and the work of SQA in improving. And this is extremely important for us to improve as a system.
An SPTC bus and a minivan carrying Russian visitors collided at Sans-Souci this morning. According to the SPTC, nobody was injured during the accident that happened not far from where the Trois Frères Trail starts. A representative of the Russian embassy was at the scene of the accident to assist the Russian visitors. The police are investigating the accident. Those are our main stories so far this Friday evening. Join me again at 8. Bye for now.